Wow, Nicky and Juan, thank you so much for joining us. So there it is, the highlights from BikeFest. How are you both doing?
We're good. A little tired, I think.
Yeah.
but good.
Juan, I see you've got your medal on there as well.
I deserve it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
I
do.
deserve it, yes. That's the reason I bring.
Absolutely. So let's get straight into the question. I'm sure people are dying to know, if they don't already, what is BikeFest and how did it start?
Yeah, no, good question. So BikeFest is a group of cyclists from the live events industry that come together to ride for charity, to raise money, and also to connect up, I think, and share values, and which is really does happen. It's really interesting how they form during the whole process of it. So it hits things on a number of levels, really. But it started back in around 2018. It was a ride to the Plaza Show to do exactly the same, to raise funds for charity. And so that ride still happens in London every year, in usually the beginning of September. And then we had the pandemic. And of course, as Plaza, we make events, and it was a very dark time for a lot of people in live events at that, there was no work, and I think We Make Events was a way for people to come together, and to that whole thing again about working for a common cause, allowing people to be part of something. And through that process, I met Juan, because we had the European side of it, and he said to me about, well, why not do one? Let's do one, and let's do it in Spain. And I said, yeah, why not?
There is no better excuse because I live in Valencia, which is, if you don't visit, still, I really fully recommend because it's the most lovely place in Spain. But I have to say, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely fantastic. I've been there before, and it's just, wonderful, wonderful city.
And it was also a good excuse to start this project, riding, because all the conditions are affordable to make this ride. The weather, we studied the last 10 years of weather during this ride. In the last 10 years, the average, the probability was 90% of sunshine and good weather. We still have 10% of probabilities of bad weather, and it actually happened last week. But we are still, in 3 years in a row, we still are lucky. And yeah, I think everybody's enjoying.
That is
Fantastic.
so great. Yeah, I know we have one of our colleagues, as you saw in the video, do that. And I have to ask, as a non-biker and non-athletic person whatsoever, I have no concept of how long that journey must have been from Valencia to Barcelona. So can you share with me and our audience that are watching and listening, can you tell me about that journey? How long does it take to get from Valencia to Barcelona, and who all is part of your pack riding along?
Well, it's a ride of it's a journey of three stages, so 3 days, and the target during the journey is to enjoy the journey, not to race, not to do a high pace or whatever. So it's enjoying the relationships you build during the journey, because sharing these 3 days, you build a kind of totally different relationship more than the professional one. So the best thing of this, the best thing I ever heard about the BikeFest is when a rider that comes for the first time arrives to the end and say, I'm going to join the next year.
And I understand your father, was also joining you on
Yeah,
this.
my father has 73 years.
Wow.
So it looks like if it's hard for a person of his age to do it. And I was looking carefully about him the first year, not this year because I know how he'll behave, but the first year I was looking carefully how he's feeling, and he enjoyed it so much. And this is because also he's coming with an e-bike.
Yeah.
And this is important that we welcome e-bikes. If you want to come with a e-bike, you are very welcome. I mean, the important is to enjoy these 5-6 hours of every day.
Yeah.
Also to our stops, we share a lot of experience during the ride. As I said, this experience build a totally different relationship, also between my father and me.
So if there's anybody out there sort of thinking that they can get out of participating in this just because of their age and they think they're too old, that's no excuse, right?
No.
And there's no excuse there. Okay, we'll make sure we make a note of that when we advertise it. You've had great success with this BikeFest. It's been getting stronger and stronger. What can we learn in terms of like what with the right effort and the right sort of approach to something, the kind of success we can have there?
I think it's about having a common goal, actually, working towards something together. That's really important. And then working as a team. Something we were talking about earlier was about egos, wasn't it? There's no one person that stands out as the person, although we're here. It's kind of like representing everyone that made that effort. We wouldn't be here if they hadn't made that effort. And I think that in today it's really important, to think about that when we're working on things, to actually share that and respect everybody's diversity in that way.
Yeah, this is a We Make Events project. We have big names of the industry inside the We Make Events, people that maybe are not as popular are they, but every hand, it counts in the project of helping the industry and helping the ones that are in the backstage and they cannot afford. That's the reason we also cooperate with Backup, the charity foundation that are behind also the project, the Rise funds that we are doing. No, so I want to say that if somebody is still thinking to donate for raising funds for this project, go to joinbikefest.com and there is a donation button and they can donate any amount from €1 to whatever they want.
It's not too late.
It's never too late. So I'm glad that you brought that up regarding the donations. And so yes, we did talk about it's a wonderful way to see the world and build that camaraderie, but at its core, we're really trying to build some fund and fundraise for your charity, Backup Tech. And so can you tell me a little bit about that organization and, what is the funds, what is that going to?
Yeah, so we actually had the chair of Backup Tech. He actually came onto the ride as well. So, and so it's a charity that's been set up to look after the well-being and also to give financial support to people that work in the technical side, if you like, of the entertainment technology world. So that's what it's there to do. When Piers was there with us, because he was on the ride, we were speaking about that and asked him to sort of present certain examples, and he was actually saying that, two people a week, 2 or 3 people a week are in contacting them and using their 24-hour helpline for support, and so it's a real problem in our industry, and it's something that we need to have that support for people where they can get proper help. And they're also involved, along with other charities too, music support, in terms of training people to become mental health first aiders. So the money is going to a really, really good cause. Not only that, if you go to their website, you will see that there are sort of case studies that are on there in terms of the support people who have, if they've fallen on hard times. It's very difficult if you are somebody who's a freelancer, you don't actually have that support behind you, or for health reasons if you need medical help and support. So it's all there on their website. So have a look.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this information. And so can you repeat once again, where can people go to donate?
To donate, you can go to the website joinbikefest.com, www.joinbikefest.com, and then you will find out.
Fantastic.
Excellent. And if people can't donate, then at least if they share the page, they might reach somebody who can
Absolutely.
donate. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us
Thank you for having us.
visibility.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you so
And
much.
I encourage everyone watching, if you're able to do something, just check out the website and see what they have going on there. So thanks again, Nicky and Juan,